Aegis!
The plane of Hypnolotomakia. I have found it. And there she is, the object of my pursuit. I do not seek the seven gods' wealth. I seek you, the last heir of Uroboros. How good it is to be here in this empire of dream, desire, and fruition, where one is truly omnipotent. Those possibilities are but ephemeral illusions, as long as I remain caged in the darkness of a hostile realm. That was nothing, for I know this place well, and as yet retain an inkling of my abilities. Yet still I am nothing, where once I was. My name an omen, my actions roots of awe and fear. Yet this matters not until I am free again. In Rivelon I am weak, but in Rivelon I must be strong once more. See my undead legions walk before me.
If it is indeed the breeze of the abyss you hanker for, I believe it best you be kept shackled.
You speak before your turn, secret incarnation. You have not yet heard my terms. I will take you away from here, dragon, and bring you to the city of Aleroth, where my true self rots away deep beneath the cobbled streets, kept alive only by my dormant powers. Free me, and I will free the divine in turn. Well said. The time of words is over. The hour of action has dawned. To Aleroth, then, without delay!
Be careful, Dragon Knight. Do not risk what the release of this thing may beget for my sake. Here dwells evil. Do not forget.
Dragon Knight, where have you been? What has happened? Does Igerna live, and is the Damned One dead? What? It cannot be. How did this happen? Leave it at that. How can we? They are together again, and the whole of Ribelon will fall. Belegar's bollocks. It cannot be. Pardon my language, my friend, but this is the most fortuitous news I have heard in a very long time. And you have the means to enact this miracle. Then I can only hope your wisdom and judgment run even deeper than that of the savant sorcerer who shields us all. Even if you can free Lucian, I fear it may not be enough to turn the tide. Alaroth is in imminent peril, and she needs the dragon to deliver her. Divine, where to begin? As you have most certainly noticed, we are trapped beneath a canopy of flying fortresses that threaten to destroy the city. Fortunately, Zandalor has a plan, no matter how desperate, that involves you and Alaroth's liberation. Though there is no alternative plan, we did send someone on Zandalor's mission in case you had fallen in the Hall of Echoes. You know her well. It was Commander Rogue who took up the challenge and ventured into the dark. To anticipate your question, she was placed under arrest last time you met. But the greatest dragon slayer in history belongs in the field, not behind bars chewing old bread, wouldn't you say? What a woman, Dragon Knight. I pray I may soon look into her feral yet gorgeous eyes again. Sorry, I drifted away for a bit there. But let us get back to Zandalor's plan. Here is what he told me. When the fortresses started to appear above Alaroth like black stars in a noon sky, he realized all were doomed unless he sought help. This is why he delved for an ancient being buried in the catacombs beneath the city. It lies incarcerated by the most unyielding sorceries known to any living mage. A combination of locks and barriers. And yet Zandalor removed from it the first spell of protection so he could use it to shield Alaroth. This was a desperate act. For if what dwells there breaks free, a second Damien will arise. And yet it is him you need to find. The tightly chained essence of the mad wizard, Berlin. Zandalor knows he cannot hold the shield forever, so he bid me to tell you you will need to contact Berlin and persuade him to cede to you the Eye of the Patriarch. Now it is the heart of the city, the life's blood that shelters it from death. Yet, like any other heart, sooner or later, its beat is doomed to stop. But I can see you are not in the mood for metaphors. It boils down to this. Upholding the shield costs a tremendous amount of mental energy that will eventually exhaust even a wizard's Suffice to say, we have hours, not days. I honestly have no idea. This man, or creature, was completely unknown to me until Zandalore informed me of its existence. I asked him what he knew and how, but he remained strangely reticent. For the first time since I have known him, and that has been a good many years, I think I saw fear in his eyes. Never have I felt so nerve-shatteringly uncomfortable. It is a device of massive destruction that will allow us to obliterate Damien's horror-fueled armada. The logistic particulars are unclear to me as yet, but we'll tackle those when we get there. Somehow, you will need to persuade him to give you the eye. Barter with him. Promise him everything in return, but do not free him. Even if it means failure, do not set him loose. If you can, bring us back the eye. Yes and no. Before she set off, Rode told me she would consult a famous historian. She believes he would know more about Berlin and the dungeon he is in. Maybe you should seek him out as well. A scholar named Thaddeus. He is perhaps the most erudite member of the Prancing Seahorse. You know this establishment, do you not? The Gentleman's Club? Mind you, it's more than that. Their library is a veritable treasure trove for those with an interest in obscure magic. But I shall keep you no longer, unless you have further questions. Time is of the essence. Time is what we lack. My word, you can. But I hesitate to ask even more of you. Once you venture beyond Mardanius Plaza, you will find a whole district of death. A no-go zone. Barred and barren. Not long after you closed the rifts, and left to find again a soul, an uprising began. An uprising of walking dead. I declared that part of the city lost, because I cannot jeopardize the life of one more champion. Still, if you could find the fountainhead of this plague, and let run dry that hellish well, once more all of Alaroth would be in your debt. I think Zandalore has a plan, but he didn't say much about it. Worries for later, my friend. One of many. The only thing I know is that he must reside in the catacombs that run like mole-dug labyrinths beneath our feet. I have heard the most extensive of them lie directly under the Academy on Source Square. But getting there will mean crossing the Styx. But of course, the best in town would be Dr. West. He's the city's mortician and the most avid practitioner of dark lore. He currently resides in the emergency barracks on Mardanius Plaza, down near the city entrance. Would you like to hear more about the... Chanel's your girl. She lives on Lanelore Lane. She's a skilled alchemist and a fine illusionist as well. Would you like to hear more about the other services in Alaroth? As luck would have it, 2 of my best trainers are right here in the Ministry. You can find them on the upper floors. Would you like to hear more about the other services? There used to be one on the 1st floor of the Phoenix Inn. But he's long dead, I believe. Would you like to hear more? As you wish. I'm afraid that is impossible. He is wrapped in deep meditation and cannot be disturbed. Should his shielding spell fail, Alaroth will fall in a matter of moments. Best of luck, Dragon Knight.
So, now you know who I am. Know what lies deep under rock and earth. Even Zandalor bids you to find me, and you will. Find me. Release me.
Dragon Knight, please. I'm forbidden to leave my post, but my wife is still in the city where there's been fighting. I need to know if she's safe. Our house lies in the overrun part of Alaroth. The Walking Dead, they came so quickly. Always be prepared, they say. But honestly, how do you foresee a day out of the casket will dawn? 1,000 thanks, oh mighty hero. She's called Alina, and we live in the Crow's Nest. Divine grant the demons have spared her. She's such an amazing cook. Oh, great hero!
Hail to you, mighty dragon!
Don't worry,
May
Dragon
your
Knight.
fiery breath burn all our foes to cinders.
Yes, my friend. But of course. What is it? The best in good Chanel's. Would you like to hear more? As you wish. Best of luck, Dragon Knight.
Some would sooner change.
I'm sorry.
Right good to have you in the city again, Dragon Knight.
Bad archer, I'm not.
You look like you can use some training, Dragon Knight. How about it? It'll blow over. No way Damien could break both you and Zandalor. What really worries me is the infestation. Those Walking Dead are a real menace. Thank the Divine my kitty cat Spike is safe at least. Excellent. I'll try to be gentle.
Impressive, is it not? The coffers of Alaroth overflow with riches. But what is gold good for, Dragon Knight, when it must crumble to dust in the Moor Zone? Any skills that need improving? I train a mean magic blast. A military man must brave the terrors of war to deserve the joys of peace, wouldn't you say? And anyway, it beats my old job. Well, we'll begin immediately. Follow my lead now.
Hammers! Hammers and trouts! To honor my father and mother, Dragon Knight. He was a fisherman and she was a smith, you see. Both were killed in a rather freakish accident with a swordfish, I'm afraid. Whatever afterworld they're in, I'm sure they're fighting over what was mightier, the fish or the sword. Be my guest.
Come, fit my harnesses.
A good offense is what we need.
Looking for armor, Dragon Knight. Sold a lot of armor since the sun was blackened and the city was attacked. Good for me pension, but bad for the rest of Alaroth, I reckon. I just wish the wind would turn, so I wouldn't stand in this cloud of stench that blows my way. Damn that woman, Gina. Immediately. Always a pleasure to see. Immediately.
Want no secret?
Interested in magics? My little emporium is bound to fulfill your every wish. Oh, never mind, Moira. I think she quite fancies me, you know. Yeah, that's all well and good, but her husband is sitting right there on the bench. Still, why not enjoy a little back and forth while we're still green, eh? Well, God's curse that rotten damn. You said...
Impossible, unbelievable.
Need herbs and plants for potions? My modest herbarium harbours all, no matter how obscure. What I can, I'll grow myself, but most of my stock comes from the woods outside of Alaroth and the Oribus fjords. Obviously, those places are inaccessible now, so I have no idea how long my store will last, let alone the ones that sell fresh food. What a way to end this. Proud Alaroth brought down by Damien. Nothing we can do. Such a pig. Freshest herbs in Alaroth. Get them here, best quality, best prices.
Need directions, Dragon Knight? And you!
Over here, Dragon Knight. How can I help you, friend? Why, thank you. That red ore, straight from the Broken Valley mines. Last batch I'll ever sell, alas. You heard what happened there? I'll tell you. Damien blasted it with demons and poisonous gas. Killed every living soul. Fanny, Elsa, those Black Boar girls. Oh, breaks me heart to think of it. Change it back, Dragon Knight. Over here, Dragon Knight. Ores, gems, I'm sure you need...
What do you want? I don't have the time and patience for penniless peasants, you know. Oh, no, but naturally, I have all the time in the world for your exalted person. No need to get angry, dear Majesty. Necessity, great Dragon Knight, sheer necessity. My shop was on Mardania's Plaza, and that place has been swamped by deathless creatures. But I'll be damned if I let slip a good sale, be abominations below and Damien above, or the other way around for all I care. All good things must come to an end, they say. Well, then so must the bad ones. And I'll need all the gold I can get my hands on to repair my home. Immediately, O most imperial of heroes.
Don't cry for me, you band of milks! Look at me, dead and burning, but I will have my revenge, Bikara. What a question! On those who kill me, of course. I am Caracalla, a champion of Alaroth, who fell at the hands of invisible beings that tore my mortal shell to shreds. But let not those silver eyes shed mercury tears for me, 'cause damn and blast, I shall yet be avenged. Join me, Dragon Knight, and together we'll slay those spectral fiends, or be dubbed bone-headed blackguards. Ha! They'll cry for clemency and scream in agony. I will meet you at the scene of the crime. Look for the house of Crowell the Sorcerer. Death and misfortune to all our enemies! Huzzah!
Ha! We've got you cornered now, haven't we, you black-ring rat?
Game's up, traitor. Scum like you do not receive quarter or clemency.
No! You've got the wrong man! Don't hurt me! You there! Please, stop them! I'm innocent!
Don't be fooled by this insolent imposter. He's a black-ring spy, and we're going to perform a spot of speleology in his gut.
That is a privilege this vermin does not deserve. We found him with letters signed by one of Damien's commanders, Carly.
I found those on the street! They must have slipped out of somebody's pocket!
Fine. Come, Gratius. But don't take your eyes off him.
Look here, Dragon Knight, what I said is true. I found those documents on the street. Please, I'm a poor clerk who works for a boss that lets him buy his own paper. Scrape the ink off these and they're as good as new. That's all there is to this terrible affair.
I cannot say I agree, though I recognize my superior in a Dragon Knight. This citizen is free to go, but divine help us all if you were wrong.
Thank you, my friend. Those rogues would have murdered me with as much a crisis of conscience as they'd suffer when swatting a fly. Goodbye, and thank you.
Dragon Knight, I have to warn General Augustus. A tree appeared out of nowhere on Mardenios Plaza. Lieutenant Casca is going to launch an attack on the undead nonetheless, but I smell foul magic.
My word. The Dragon Knight. It is an honor to meet you indeed. I'm Lord Halliwell, General of the New Order and unwavering flame in the Holy Army of the Divine. I pray that soon we may meet our enemy on the field, so that the error of their ways will dawn on them when their bodies lie crushed beneath our boots. Divine, grant that it is so. One day, together mayhap, we will wield the New Order mace and separate Black Ring brains from Black Ring skulls. But enough of this chit-chat. I'm sure you have better things to do. I know I have. Look to the Divine for guidance, and to your sword for solutions. His shining example leads us to one.
I'm busy,
Hold on.
Slayer.
I'll
No
try to find
time,
us some
no
help.
time.
Boss, I'm going to lose this one unless I get some help. That's very kind of you, but his wounds are too grave for that. Ever heard of a healing orb? Because that's the only thing that will save him now. I have one last healing orb in the basement of Healer's house. You know it, I presume, on the Great Market? You'll need a password to get past the cellar door, though. It's honeysuckle. Don't forget now. And for the love of the divine, please hurry. Their healing powers are simply unrivaled. No herb can touch them. These orbs are granted to us by the Source. But since Source Square is impossible to reach at the moment, an already rare commodity has become quite unfeasible to attain. I pray to the divine the powers of the Source will not be tainted, or worse, corrupted to serve those who oppose us. I'll try to save as many lives as I can.
I can't talk now.
One moment
Wounded
I'm
are my
brewing
priority.
potions, the next I'm
Don't disturb me.
wrist deep in...
Weapons at the ready, champions. Today we will rid Alaroth of its deathless intruders. I will claim first blood. Charge!
Divine, what was that?
Stay back. No one comes near that tree. Can you help us, Dragon Knight? Perhaps you can do miraculous things, like talk to trees. Yes, Dragon Knight.
Oanon ferregat gefeta skiltus greca circum on Grimhelmas swame.
You did not understand any of that, did you? The linguistic skills of dragons these days are quite deplorable. Try and find a good library. There must be an ancient grammar book somewhere in this rat hole of a town.
Can you help us, Dragon Knight? Perhaps you can do miraculous things. Sounded like old Elvin to me. I don't know, let me think. Perhaps the Prancing Seahorse. Try there. It's a gentleman's club up on Lanelore Lane. The place is full of scholars, usually. Maybe they can help. Or maybe you'll find a book in their archives. Yes, Dragon Knight.
The door won't open.
Hey, watch it, will ya? You done well nearly through that door in me face. Oh, but it's the Dragon Knight, is it not? I do apologise for my little outburst, my lady. Divine bless you each day anew.
Wanted. The following menaces. Claim your... Bring his bracelet. Bring her neck. Bring his content. You walk away.
You're here because of the wanted board, I take it. Might seem useless now the city's in chaos, but we still pay those who bring to justice the 3 worst criminals in Alaroth. We'll see, won't we? Don't want to spoil the surprise. They give you the wrong impression, I see. We're faced with hundreds of crimes, good night. It's impossible to solve them all. Well, the worst offenders we put on lists, so adventurers know what opportunities await them. They are happy with the thrill and the gold. The miscreants know they have to fear both us and all sorts of bounty hunters. This is the Circular Trust Tavern, all right, but the ale stopped flowing since the rise of rifts. Well, we turned it into an emergency barracks to safeguard Mardania's Plaza, and we won't leave until those walking dead have been mopped up. Shame the owners are dead. They were good people. But anyway, if it's a drink you're after, there's always the Phoenix Inn. Happy hunting! Those undead creeps put up a serious fight, but I got the better of them. 4 fell beneath my blade. Can you claim the same?
Your presence gives us strength, Dragon
Soon
Knight.
as this is over,
you vanquish the
I'm
Rift
leading
Spawn
the
and
army.
you vanquish the Black Ring.
Look, we told you soldier times before. No one has leave to enter Lord Halliwell's chambers. He hails from Rivertown and is a general of the New Order.
None is more holy, none more devout. He embodies the example of the divine.
Long live Lord Halliwell! Long live the New Order!
He's not here, so there's no use bothering us.
Bloody war. So many we've lost. It leaves one despondent, Dragon Knight. The very moment Zandalor's shield fails, the Black Ring will drop on us like a fat tomcat on a cornered mouse. We haven't a chance in the world unless a hero such as yourself performs a miracle. Feel free to take that as a hint. You could kill Damien. But seriously, since you offer, I did send 2 champions, Olus and Minius, to inspect some vaults that may be infested, and they're taking their sweet time. Should you meet them, please tell them to hurry. The simple clean-up mission is taking them longer than some legless lazybones would take to climb the Lovis Tower. That vault I mentioned is called the Temple of Namir. The entrance to it is right near the end of Lanelorn Lane. They should be there, or on their way at least. Honor and courage be with you, Dragon Knight.
Welcome to the mortuary, my dear Dragon Knight. I am Dr. West, medical man, mortician and necromancer, of service to the living, dead and undead. I confess, my duties as a doctor are called upon more frequently than my gifts as limb-lacerating puppeteer. I believe I am the only one with such an extensive love for the undead in Alaroth, though I have heard rumors about the asylum. It's called Wild Willow's Manor, over in Crow's Nest. Healers take care of the insane there, but some whisper of secret rooms and secret experiments. Not that I want anything to do with it. If it goes on behind closed doors, it must be fishy. Brilliant. It's a necromancer's nightmares come true. These events will lead to a lifetime of research, and so make my career. The prancing seahorse will accept me. The healers will respect me. And Deodatus will name me his successor. Bring on the dead. Dr. West will make them walk. Let me disinfect my scalpels without delay.
I'm afraid you can't leave through the gate here, Dragon Knight. A flying fortress took out the bridge.
And spreading your wings won't.
sample my swords and be seduced by my oysters.
Guards! Guards, you have to help me! There are assassins in my house!
And a pair of spinster imps have taken up residence in my nostrils. Beat it, you sad little scamp.
Oh, Dragon Knight, it's you! You'll help your old pal Willie, won't you? You'll get rid of that Assassin's Guild vermin, won't you? Bless you, my friend. My house lies next to Madam Eve's on Lanina Lane. I'll meet you there.
Forget it, Minius. You do not have the necessary experience. I am going down there, and that's the last I'll say on the subject.
Be reasonable, Ollis. I'm a champion. Trained as arduously as you have been. Not to mention about half your years.
Not at all, Dragon Knight. We have been ordered to clear an abandoned crypt called the Temple of Nimia, of lingering undead. And I'm just telling this pipsqueak here, he's not up for the job and will be a fool to risk his life.
Now listen, old man. You know very well that if one of us has a chance of surviving, it's the chap who, until someone corrected him last week, thought arthritis was a feared imp chieftain.
Logic dictates you are right, but as I said before, I won't let Minius risk his life.
I am of the same mind. Ollis will die should he go, and I shall not allow it.
Judge for us, Dragon Knight, and we shall listen.
But it'll be the death of old Ollis.
I most certainly will not, you rascal. Just make sure the wine is cool and plentiful when I return.
And there he goes. Divine protect him. But maybe you could protect him too. Please. The entrance to the temple is just down the street. Here, let me mark it on your map. I'd be ever so grateful.
Oh, my word. Oh, my Lord, Dragon Knight, she cursed them all. No, never again. I'll never set another foot in the prancing seahorse. They can find another maid. She turned them into vegetables, all three of them. Oh, my word, foul magic.
What's this? Seems she forgot to put one on courgette detail. You mustn't be a member of the club, then. Ha! Fine, thank you. Just call me Mr. Canvas. Now then, I warn you to watch out for Veggie Rays, because she might curse you as well. Ursula upstairs, she did it. Turned them into plants. But why? Couldn't tell you if you threatened to scrape my varnish. Oh, I don't know. Some girl. Normally you never see any women around here, though. She keeps on blabbing about the forbidden archives. But she's not allowed to visit them. And this magical mayhem may be how she's getting rid of peering eyes and so force her way in. What, do you think I'm completely off the wall? I'm a work of art, and I shan't risk to be suckered into the shape of spinach. It is where the official records of the city are kept in the strictest of security, behind a magical barrier that protects its entrance. But don't think it's just a bunch of old paper detailing 50-year-old wheat stocks and Grisha cart parking fines. Alaroth is a city of wizards, after all, and the likes of Mardanius and Deodatus have long since stored their old and powerful incantations. It's a gentleman's club, a place where the scholars of Alaroth gather to share and improve their knowledge. That's true for the most part, but there's many a toff here as well. Welcome because of their heavy gold purses. That lot just comes here after being thrown out of Madame Eve's to laugh like hyenas and drink like fish. Civilized people, though, will find here one of the best libraries in Rivellon, a true hub of enlightenment. An experiment gone wrong, hilarious, metaphysical, whatever you want to call it, really. Not as bad as you might think, though, this life. My conscience can freely roam the depicted land. Of course, if I look the other way, I see nothing but a big white void. Sure, they always give me the brush off.
Give me the 3 right numerals and I shall let you pass. Perhaps.
Fine, forgive me. I wouldn't bother to save that weasel with his life. Come, fit the harnesses and taste my tender pork.
I can't believe it's really you.
You there! Please! You have to help me. Not every day one is turned into a carrot, either. I'm Gardner, a frequenter of the Prancing Seahorse, and I have been cursed. Dragon Knight, cursed by a witch called Ursula. It was she who gave me this ridiculous form, and I can do nothing about it. A gorgeous young woman, a scholar, or so we thought. But all she wanted all along was to infiltrate our library and sneak into the forbidden archives. No one is allowed in there, except for certain high-placed officials such as Deodatus. Who knows what nefarious magic she's looking for? To think, I bought her sweet rolls and flowers and called her Pussycat all the time. I thought she liked me. It is simply a place that no ordinary citizen can visit because it's where city records are kept. But among the papers are ancient sorceries, which is why I assume Ursula is so hell-bent on getting in. A gentleman's club on Lanilor Lane. Me and my buddies kind of use it as a bar, but it's really a gathering point for the male intellectuals of Alaroth. Yes? You'll help me? Great! Ursula will be in what we call the Forbidden Archives right now, and you will need to pull 3 levers in order to get in as well. One is in my room, the other's in the rooms of my friends, Thomas and Ashraf. I don't know what the passwords to their chambers are, so you'll have to find them too. But mine is Brandy. I have no idea, though I'm certain they're in the city. How could they not be with that big shield around Alaroth? Please do all you can to help me, Dragon Knight.
Over here. I have need of you, kind lady.
If only the sauce was still as active as she used to be.
The wounds these monsters have caused. Not this.
I'm so very hungry, kind knight. Could you spare a coin or a loaf of bread?
I hope we
Lay still. I'm trying the best I can.
Here, Dragon Knight, please. Help a dying man achieve some peace of mind in his last hours. My wife died during the siege, and soon I will follow her. But how will I find her in the Hall of Echoes? Should I have her favorite ring with me, her soul might find me. The ring, a precious ring. I knew you'd have a kind heart. The ring lies in a box in what used to be our house and is now, I take it, another den of the dead in the crow's nest. If you bring it to me, I shall be very grateful. A strange request, but I will do it if I can. Maxos. I'm certain this enthusiast will be glad to hear from a friend, even in death. Goodbye. Perhaps forever.
Who needs
Divine
medicine
grant I
when you
survive,
have magic, they
and
said.
may Alaron
Now
be
you're
all right.
I'm sure it will stop.
Tragedy, Dragon Knight. A calamity, a disaster, a catastrophe has befallen us. Such mishaps that plague us, such bitter adversities. Help? You'd be willing to help? At last, a ray of hope breaks through the turbulent clouds of misery and misfortune. The problem is that there have been grave thefts of the food which we healers gather for the beggars and tramps in the city. I sent 2 of my most trusted disciples, Joramson and Otto, to investigate this atrocious embezzlement. And now, oh dark hour, they too have disappeared. 10 times blessed are you, and 10 times blessed may be your offspring. Listen then, for there is one piece of information I can give you. Before he disappeared, Joramson said he got a lead from Darvesh, a beggar who most commonly pleads for coin by the city gate. I pray he will prove to illuminate the darkness that has befallen this guild. Healer's House, a guild hall of sorts where we nurse the wounded and the sick of Alaroth back to health and provide meals for the very poor. Deodatus is the guild's master, but in title only. His political duties have corroded his medical oath and practice to a mere nominal shell. I am the guild master in practice, but alas that such despondency should have befallen Alaroth. Doom, woe, catastrophe. May Alaroth's evil fortune have changed for the better when you return.
Calm yourself. We have been introduced, Dragon.
Yes? May Alaroth...
Calm yourself, my dear Bernard. Think of the divine. Time and his everlasting patience and perseverance.
But I am not as firm of mind as Seeker. How can I remain stoic in these most turbulent, most disastrous of times?
Pray, plan.
So if you had 10 gold,
When the enemy is here, what would you choose?
This is a quarantined area, Dragon Knight. Off limits for very good reason. That's it. The quarantined area is open to you.
Oh, thank the gods that finally someone has come to cure me. But you don't look like a healer. Then please use all your powers to drive out this terrible disease from my body. This is a nightmare that never ends. Quite literally so.
It all started a week ago with the dream. In my sleep, I dreamt I was being chased by a demon for what seemed to be hours, until it finally got me and started to devour me. Well, I woke up in a sweat, only to realize the flesh on my left leg and arm had gone. Oh, terrified, I stumbled here, but no one could help me. I dream the same dream every night, and soon the demon will eat whatever is left of me. The healers think that I might be contagious, so they lock me up. But I'll die if no one helps me. I haven't slept for 2 days. I can't hold out much longer. Oh, divine praise your name. I was hoping some cough medicine might do the trick. But your aid will prove to be just as invaluable, I'm sure. No, I only ever leave Alaroth to fish for trout, and I've never caught me an ancient evil. Not at all. I told Gina her clams stink, but she knows as much about demons as I know about, well, demons, actually. Suspicious? No. But I did meet a celebrated man at my favourite tavern, the Phoenix Inn. I saw Halliwell, the famous man from Rivertown. Asked him for an autograph, I did. But I guess he didn't want to be bothered. The look he gave me. Demonic, really. Never thought a holy man would be capable of it. Well, he has a room up on the first floor of the inn, where no one dares to go because of some ghost. Not that Halliwell would ever be scared of such a thing. I don't think Ricky the barkeep likes him either. But you know what they say, business is business. Do so, kind knight, quickly. I am so very sleepy.
Another one to add to the collection.
I assume you and yours. We have been introduced, Dragon, and I have neither the desire nor the inclination for it. If you have the means to protect Alaroth, pray use them. If not, please don't disturb the officials who may.
Like hell, that's the wine talking. I ain't afraid of no ghost, and that's all there's to it.
I'll bet you 5 gold coins you'll run like all the others. Go on, go tell that spectre what you think of it.
Hey, ghost. Come out, wherever you are.
Here I am, ready to strike you down. Over here, little man.
What? Where? No, don't!
I'll find you where you sleep.
and let my nails sink slowly into your lungs.
No! Get away from me! Ah!
Hello there, friend. Are you here to sample Alaroth's palatable pleasures like me? That I do. 'Tis no secret I enjoy immensely the work of art that is the appetizing aliment. I travel all over Rivellon to taste the best every kitchen of every city has to offer. I have even magically taken the guise of a goblin in order to taste their shaman bowel soup during the yearly festival of blood. Unfortunately, the spell did in fact transform me into a shaman, and I had to do a runner. But never mind all that. I'm here now in Alaroth, ready to have a good meal, and Damien be damned if he interrupts it. Ah, but it does. I just try to keep up my spirits, and good food is the way to do that. Not that it doesn't affect me. The dead in the street, the smell of burning flesh. But then the scent reminds me of a good piece of wild troll steak, and suddenly life is worth living again. Live well and eat well, Dragon Knight.
Mind your own business, would you? I have an important meeting.
Bugger off, will ya? I'm not in the mood for a chat. What? Aside from your meddling, I'm hungry, I want a decent plate of food, and to read my Alaroth Times in peace. Only food is scarcer than brains in Bourdain's head, and the forces of darkness are about to make a house call. Noisy adventurers! They think they can wring a quest out of anybody.
Ah, you have come to congratulate, of course, the great Bourdin, the best chef in Alaroth, nay, in the whole of Rivellon. Omelette? Such a meager platter is an insult to the genius of my cuisine. Surely you must have heard of my famous coq bourré. Bien sûr, I knew it. People flock here from faraway lands just to get a taste of my signature dish. Alas, I missed the key ingredient for my celebrated stuffing, without which I cannot prepare my work of art. Gogambert, an exquisite creamy blue cheese made from the milk of the famed white giant rabbits that roam the pastures of Ferrol, the mighty dukedom. To think a food critic is in my restaurant right now, awaiting the result of my mouth-watering métier with ravenous anticipation. A review in the Alaroth Times can make or break my reputation. Oh la la! But I can't just give you the recipe. It shall die with me. Still, because you are my dear friend, I will divulge to you the 3 basic ingredients. They are a large rooster, Gorgombert cheese, and lots of Rimmer rum. The rest must remain a mystery. Oh, but think a bit further, Dragon Knight. If Damien hears of my divine skills in the kitchen, perhaps he will spare me, yes? Magnifique. Please, mon ami. Talk to the customers and find out who the food critic is. It is he I must concentrate on. And of course I will need some Gocambert, without which I cannot make my coq bourré. When I have it, I will certainly win the critic's stomach and heart. Do this for me, and the name of Bourdin will echo through the ages. Your guess is as good as mine, Dragon Knight. He who seeks shall find. Au revoir.
Oh, the barman is so
When I close my eyes.
Hey, Anona's the name. Want to join us for a drink? Oh, just the first thing I read on the menu. With what we'll be drinking, we'll need a bit of a bite to keep us on our feet. Why, yeah. We're having a real girls' night out. Certainly the black ring might kill us all soon. But that's all the more reason to be merry as much as we can, I say. Where are you going? Come back and have some brandy.
I told you to leave me alone. Go on then, get. And what business is my cock beret of yours, eh? Go away.
Ah, it's you. Also, perhaps, still in search of all things savoury. But of course, I have the good hope that soon I shall be dining on Chef Bourdain's coq beret, a dish I hear fit for the papier of gods. Live well and eat.
From hell I call to you, soon to perish. Eternal torment will be thy fate. I don't know. Certainly you did something naughty in the past. Hannibal's the name. Long deceased, but far from dead. When I was alive, I was a blacksmith and enchanter. My only rival was a man called Bedouin. Bedouin had a workshop on the first floor of this inn, and one day I locked his door behind him so he would miss a smithing contest. Alas, when I made away with the key, chuckling to myself, I fell down that blasted hole in the floor and broke my silly neck. That's when I decided to haunt the place so no one would dare to free dear old Bedouin. And he'd croak in turn. Simple as that. Guilty as charged. But it's fun to be a rascal. You know what my count is. 9. 9 people I have scared to death by now. I'm telling you, I've never felt so alive. What else is there for me to do? This is the place I haunt, and I'm doing a good job if I say so myself. The regulars speak fondly of me, and Ricky over there never even has to pay for a tough arm to get rid of the troublemakers. Let's see how long it takes before another kicks the bucket after a good boom.
Let's have another ale,
God,
Parky.
Solus is okay.
Join me for a drink, Dragon Knight. I'll drink to that, Dragon Knight. You have to try the Phoenix Ale. As long as I don't get my marching orders, no. Plus, I can use some liquid courage. What with Damien hovering above our heads.
Leave me to me drinking. What else is...
Hey there. Want a drink, I suppose? We can all use one in these depressing times. You could say that again. We'll probably be killed in the next few days, and I've lost my last little tangible creature comfort. No, nothing like that. It's my mother's amulet, actually. Given to me when I was a lad. Told me the divine would always protect me when I wore it, she did. And though I don't believe that anymore, I sure would like to have it here now. Problem is, it's in my house down in the crow's nest, where those undead roam. If ever you go there, I'd be much obliged if you retrieved it. But honestly, you'd have to be mad to go there. I have no idea, to be honest. My parents are called Henry and Eleanor, and they were the owners of the Phoenix Inn. They went on a sea voyage some weeks back, and nothing has been heard of them or anybody else on the ship since. 'Twas then that I have taken on the role of landlord, and Bourdain became the head chef. You can find him in the kitchen if you're feeling peckish. Yes, you've heard of them. Found happiness in some faraway land, have they? Oh, I'm glad to hear it. I do hope they send me a letter soon, though. How was I supposed to know I was going to be lumbered with being a landlord all of a sudden? Me? Reservations? Yes, but... No, I don't know where he gets that. And what is more, I don't talk about my customers with strangers. It's just not professional. Oh, my father always wanted to install some device there. Something magical that would lift him. How he hated stairs. Never had the gold to have it constructed. So, there you have it, a hole in the floor. Mind you, I did place a sign of warning after someone fell down and damn well broke his neck. Best malt, beer and wine in town.
It's stuck.
The door! You actually opened the door! What a day! Greater service a skeleton never had. Sweet freedom from this roomy tomb. Finally, I can invite customers again. Power up my machines. I shall make masterpieces of enchanting yet. I can feel it in my bones. So it's some enchanting you're after, yes? But I can't do much more here than play the xylophone on my ribs. These machines don't run on Bourdain's food, you know. Not even his famous drunk chicken. I need forced stones and orbs. And special kinds, too. You won't find them in Alaroth. Tell you what, though. Fish around for a goblin energy orb, and I can fire up these 3 old engines in one go. Why not, indeed? I am Beduran, as you can have guessed. Gods bless that draconic intellect. I am an enchanter. Lucrative job, that. Kings shower you in gold if you forge them blade and shield, and have the queens in turn show their munificent nature when you place the medallions around their neck. Alas, success breeds jealousy. Hannibal was the green beast that stalked me. Locked me in here is what he did, so I'd miss a contest. The underhand weasel. Only the fool went and broke his neck. Then, refusing to give up the ghost, he started haunting the inn. All those cowards refused to hear my pleas and cries for help. Before long I knew I'd die here. My last resort was to drink a potion given to me by a necromancer that promised eternal life. The soul it preserved, but the damned concoction stopped short of bodily upkeep. Thus I became the skeleton in the cupboard. Can't tell you much more than the obvious. If you see a goblin, ask. No problem.
The one that sees, still fascinated. He's still alive? A ghost like me? To think he has been haunting the same inn all this time. Oh well. No rest for the wicked, as they say. Let's see how long it takes.
Think, Willie, man, actually have a sense.
Interesting. There must be more of those runes. They are of consequence, somehow.
Dragon Knight. Oh, fortunate hour for us both. I am in need of aid, and you will have the honor of assisting me. Marvelous. I knew you'd not pass on a chance to help Helion, the peerless healer. My potions are a legend and have saved the lives of scores of champions, but I seem to have run out, and it's such a bother having to go and fetch them. You, however, are an accomplished adventurer, and I'm sure you've fetched all sorts of things in your day. Marvelous. The potions, 5 of them to be exact, are in a cave of sorts, close by the city gate. I'm afraid it might have been swarmed by undead, though. Forgot to mention that. I slammed the hatch shut and locked it with the key I found next to it. Here you go. You'll need that. Best of luck. Oh, that place is an excavation site. Sir Gula, some nobleman and self-proclaimed adventurer, started to dig there looking for divine knows what. He hasn't been seen anywhere near it for weeks, so I thought might as well set up a laboratory and stash my potions there. Nice and quiet, you know. But no sooner was I out of that pit when I heard the shuffle of undead feet, and I realized what I had stirred. Ah! They are the subtle mixture of the best and rarest saps of plants with 1,000 varieties of healing powers. Only I know the secret, and it shall die with me. None shall receive its magical blessing anymore, and the ages will scream my name in torment, for a paradise will be lost. Marvelous. Good health be yours.
Another one to add to the collection. It's stuck. Another one to add to the collection.
Oh there. Don't you come any closer. I'm not for eating. But I'm called Thomas, and I've been polymorphed into a tomato by a wizard called Ursula. Well, I knew we should never have allowed a woman into the prancing seahorse, but she seduced her way in, this Silent. But you can get rid of her, Dragon Knight. You can undo her evils. She told us she's a professor, and that she researched pre-war elven poetry. Our library is stacked with the stuff, and even though our club is men only, well, we couldn't resist her charms. But now she's turned on us, and as far as I know, is trying to make away with some of the magic we keep there. Oh, many's the time I gave her a pinch and a fondle, and now she betrayed us. How dare she? Why, the famous Gentlemen's Club, of course, on Lanelore Lane. Surely you must have heard of it. Very exclusive, open only to the best and the brightest. Well, not that me and my buddies are scholars, gods no. But turns out the wealthiest also belong to the best and brightest. Dear me, you mean you'll defy the witch? You know the Prancing Seahorse on Lanelore Lane? Well, that's where she is. I'll bet my entire wine cellar she's worked her way into the Forbidden Archives, and you'll have to follow her in there. There are 3 levers in 3 rooms, mine, Gardner's, and Ashraf's, and all room doors have passwords. Drudenai opens mine. Oh, it's where old Dio and that type of fellows keep secret stuff. Ancient magic, obscure sorceries, you name it. Me and my friends don't really care about all of those sorceries. So long as we guard those levers, everything's peachy. I can't help it. It's not like they gave us a course. Well, aren't you a regular hoot?
It's stuck.
This is the diary of a man called Hansel. What do you want to do with it? The diary details Hansel's infatuation with Gretel and describes how he pines for her, lists reasons why they should be together. Apparently their names are a great match. But in recent entries, the tone becomes more grim, and it turns out Hansel lured an undead monster to the market so that Gretel's champion husband Doris might be killed when doing battle with it. You are confident Hansel would appreciate your silence, and Doris your sense of justice.
Dragon Knight! Oh, I beseech you, help me! Help me! No, but it's just that the champions don't do anything for us citizens. I want to retrieve my mother-in-law's earrings, you see, but the playhouse, it's haunted. I didn't even think of those. Oh, God, what to do? They're all dead in there. I can hear them whisper. They're plotting my doom or something. Damn that Mara, the woman never liked me. But I need those earrings. They're valuable, and I'm broke. Please bring me those jewels, so at least I can buy a loaf of bread. Oh, that's very kind, but I'd rather have those precious earrings, if you don't mind. It's just down the street. Used to be very popular. People from as far as Broken Valley would come and watch the shows. But then one night, they performed Chambers of Blood, a play as famed as it is infamous. It's about a group of women who form a secret cabal of sorceresses that wants to invoke the spirit of Astaroth, so they may bear him the demon spawn that will bring them power and riches. Only those foolish actors accidentally used the Bloodspawn edition of the drama, which includes real incantations. I don't know if it was Astaroth himself that was summoned that night, but whatever it was, it slaughtered everybody in the theatre before disappearing. The place has been deserted and haunted ever since. I understand.
Welcome to Chanel, the best herbalist and illusionist in Alleroth. And that's not just because I'm the only... one. I see what you mean. Welcome back to Chanel. Oh yes, ever since I was 12 and my parents moved here in search of fortune. We opened a shop, and although we did struggle to survive those first few years, we decided to stay nevertheless, having fallen quite in love with this charming city. I don't think we would have stayed if we knew how Alleroth would turn out, infected by strange creatures and ruled by the eccentric Deodatus. Still, I'm confident the champions will take care of matters as they always do. Always welcome.
Over here! Khan welcomes you, scion of the worm. I hope you have brought much gold and riches for us to trade with. I desire riches, dragon, gold, gems, real treasure, and goblins. What do they barter for? Skins, troll teeth, colored pebbles, a nice piece of wood to carve a totem from? I left those Jujo gatherers and went to the city, where all are welcome if they bring gold, even if they be goblins. Why, of course, my totems. I have one right here. It will be my pleasure, and all I ask is a modest price. Surely not. I certainly can't sell it for less. It will be my pleasure, and all I ask. Surely not. Are you going? Or... Over here! Really one. Please don't be afraid.
I can't move this.
My wares are worth...
Dragon Knight, it is indeed a most fortuitous yet prestigious pleasure to make your acquaintance. Pray, may I, Astridax, suggest a highly piquant proposal, the positive conclusion to which will nominate us both as the beneficiaries of considerable copiousness? Capital. Here is the notion I want to adduce in the, I think, indubitable hope it will meet with your most ebullient approbation. I am a necromancer, a connoisseur of the deceased, a puppeteer of those in the most precocious state of worm-caressed hebitude. New experiments leave me in need of a triad of jewels that inhere to individuals who only quite recently did end their somatic existence, and by means of which I can bind their spectral quintessence, thus rendering me their de facto master. Bring me these gem-set desiderata, and I promise you a most generous guerdon. You have my word, Dragon Knight. Here's to an expeditious fruition of your quest.
Should Damien and his armies break through Zandalor's shield, we champions will have to fight a foe more pernicious and deadly than this generation of Oracle has ever battled before.
I'm afraid I can't let you in, Dragon Knight. This is a private residence. Sir Gula, the renowned adventurer, always out in search of new mystery and riches. But I think he tossed his helmet in the ring because he has locked himself in his room and we haven't seen him for weeks. Couldn't tell you. But if I'd venture a guess, I'd say he's studying some treasure he found. Or perhaps he got himself a nasty sickness from some weird swamp vixen or something, if you like.
Divine, standing guard is born.
I ask you to keep your business brief, Dragon Knight, for I have much to tell these soldiers. Between you and me, I don't give us a chance in hell. But that would make for rather dreary speech material now, wouldn't it? Still, miracles have happened before. And in any case, we'll take plenty of the bastards with us if they dare face us in combat. Thank you, Dragon Knight. Should Damien and his armies break through Zandalor's shield, we champions will have to fight...
Try what I heard. Did you hear about Thor Square?
Has ever battled. But let not this...
Welcome to my store, friend. Do you belong to the authorities, if I may ask? Indeed. Well, you're not a champion. That's what counts. I'm not very fond of them, you see. Not that I have anything to hide, mind you. Anyway, let's do some shopping, shall we? Oh, don't read too much into it. I simply dislike their autocratic conduct. I mean, even if you've done nothing wrong, but they think you have. Not that I have. They might, though I didn't. Let's just change the subject, shall we? Divine's bliss.
A pumpkin.
A bloody pumpkin! A man of my stature reduced to a plant of so unflattering a shape! Oh, at least that would not have belied the gifts of nature. But first things first. I'm Ashraf, proud prancing seahorse card carrier. I take it you have heard of this exclusive club. Well, at least it used to be exclusive. Men only, you know. But then Ursula came. No one could resist her. We were all enchanted by her beauty. And now she has betrayed us. Turned me into a vegetable. That she's a vixen, a temptress who used us to gain... Actually, I don't really know what she wants. A harpy, that's Ursula. But what a behind, Dragon Knight. An irresistible behind. The behind a man would quest for. Ah! You said it! Go get her, Dragon Knight! Yeah, lovely place, that. Right on Lanelore Lane. Best place to put up one's feet, down too much brandy, and forget all about the old ball and chain. Oh, yeah, sure you have some old tossers running around as well. Scholars, they call themselves. But they leave us party-loving types alone. Ooh, yes? What? Yes, you see, the object of her pursuit is, without doubt, the Forbidden Archives, a library of power. To open it, you will need to pull 3 levers, one of which is in my room. Tell the door, open wide, and it will let you through. But remember, you'll have to find the 2 other password carriers as well. Not much. I never even saw them. Why I'm one of the 3 in charge of guarding its entrance is beyond me. Perhaps it's because we never leave the club unless there's another soirée at Madame Eve's. Divine praise you.
If only I still had my totems grace you, Dragon Knight. I am Irem, and this is my brother Nathirap. We are goblin outcasts, come here to live a civilized life, away from the tribes and backward shaman. You are most courteous human, more so than Aquila, the champion captain who is addressing his men. We want to fight for Alaroth, but that misbegot will not allow it. We do not look like warriors in his eyes. The nerve. We, who are known as the Brothers of the Spear. Trolls ran when they saw us in the woods.
I have an idea, you know. The dragon must be clever, no doubt. Very clever. Convince Aquila we can fight, and our gratitude you shall have.
If only I still had my old blade.
Is there more you need know? Ireb and Natharab. They're a fine pair of chaps, but have you seen them? I don't believe for a second they were famed warriors amongst their kin. Should they have weapons and harnesses, show they're ready for war, then perhaps I would reconsider. Until then, I will not allow them to join the champions. Unarmed, they would be a danger to my soldiers and themselves. Should Damien and his armies break through Zandalor's shield, we champions will have to fight a foe more pernicious.
The child of Ouroboros returns. Have you convinced Aquila?
We will be able to join the champions.
But it was the champions who made us hand over our weapons when we entered the city and pledged to live like humans.
There must be goblin weapons in the city somewhere.
In the name of the old toad-tailed totems, what a rotten business this is.
Don't curse.
Willie, I own your house according to the statutory decrees of the city, as is written in the Grand Charter, Chapter 8 on Property Laws, Paragraph 41, subsection 12b.
But the contract was written on the back of a Madam Eve's no clothes allowed soiree invitation and signed with a drawing of a ducky.
The material is inconsequential, and though the substitution of a crude hieroglyph for an autograph might require the attention of jurisprudence, I remind you that we shook hands on the matter, an act that is deemed to be binding as is stipulated in Appendix 5D to the aforementioned subsection 12b.
I don't recognise the authority of the Assassin's Guild. That's right. You are not subject to the laws of Rivellon. And, my friend, a Dragon Knight will certainly agree with me.
Yes, I was wondering when this silent bystander was going to join the discussion. Tell me then, in whose favour would you rule? Then, according to the first axiom in Penumbra's Book of Assassin's Tenets, go ye forth and kill, I hereby forfeit your claim on that elusive state referred to as life.
The device has been activated, Dragon Knight. Quickly now! This place will be in flames in a matter of moments.
Shiny.
You certainly showed them who's boss. You and Willie, what a team. Regrettably, I've grown quite tired of this city, and I'm going to try my fortune elsewhere. Luckily, that leaves my house on the market, and wouldn't you know it, it would be just ideal for you. And for but a handful of gold pieces. What do you say? What? You are kidding, right? No? I'm going! Sure you won't reconsider? No? Bye!
Another one to add to the collection.
I found the spell in the deepest recesses of Castle Wolfstone's crypts.
These are good tidings indeed, dearest Camilla. I shall gather the Sisters of Sin and prepare for the rite with haste.
How I long for the moment when I will find myself in the embrace of Azeroth.
It's Astaroth, damn it!
Get off the stage! Just get off the stage! How in the name of the devil's arse am I supposed to put this play in production with nothing but amateurs and dilettantes on the scene? Heavy, you could say, but Tamara, you're out! Just have to find a new Camilla. And until one magically shoots out of the ground, I'll be backstage.
How dare I make it difficult with the stage? Two famous to be treated like this.
It's stuck.
As I live and breathe no more, a mortal. It has been long since one has deemed our theatre worthy of a visit. The show must go on, friend, always. If I can find some decent actors, that is. Now, here's a thought. Why don't you step in? We're playing Chambers of Blood. I'm sure you're familiar with the text. Well done. Whenever you're ready, then, just say the word. You'll concentrate on the scene in which Desdemona and Camilla summon Astaroth, and you'll be playing the part of Camilla. I checked the cellar. Bound to be some copy lying around in there. It is an ancient, anonymous play that has always been rather popular because of its controversial and hot-blooded theme and content. Combine demons, passionate women, an unquenchable appetite for power and lust for the sake of lust, and you have a smash hit on your hands every time. Unfortunately, that dumbbell of a Tamara used the Bloodspawn edition of the play, which substitutes a fake incantation with a real one. During opening night, the demon Astaroth was really summoned, and soon we all fell beneath his talons. What else are spectral thespians supposed to do? Rattle chains and yell boo at frightened passers-by like household apparitions? The fates have deemed it fit to let us haunt our stage, and so we will perform until the end of time. Excellent. Let's get this show up.
We shall now proceed. My sisters, one in purpose and one to be in blood, to summon the great Astaroth, who shall engender our might. Answer now the 3 queries that will bring his majesty forth. Tell this Duke of Hell why we seek his favor. Tell this Prince of Night how our loins will sport in sovereignty. Show this King of Brimstone we have knowledge of the incantation that may draw him from the pit. Hark! The smell of sulfur! Astaroth draws near!
Good show! Good show! Encore! What a performance, friend! It has been a great pleasure to behold your histrionic prowess, and for that I gladly give you what riches I have to offer.
I'm Mara, stranger. Pleased to meet you. I did indeed. What a gift you have. You must have been acting all your life. In fact, you were so good, I bet you of all people could portray a convincing dragon slayer. I am makeup artist and costume designer. That's the real tragedy, though. To create nice clothes and now being an ugly ghost. The only thing that can make me pretty now is a big, beautifully embroidered sheet. But a ghost under a sheet, that's so last century. Starvation. The lout will spend their worth on gambling, and worse in Evelyn's house of ill repute. Near well drove my daughter to madness, the knave, until she fell down some stairs and broke her neck, the poor girl. But I suppose he can have the damned earrings if he needs them. Here's hoping the liquor they'll buy him will see him drowned in his own vomit. But what is there to haunt?
Shiny. Not yet. Another one to add to the collection. Not yet. Miserable louse!
don't care about orders. These bodies are potentially of great interest to science.
And I will more than potentially end up in a cell if I don't burn them like the captain said.
But what's a few days of potato peeling duty against the advancement of the healer's knowledge?
Well, I think I'll answer that rhetorical question with a big bonfire. Go on, get out of here.
Dragon Knight, please stop this fool before he destroys these perfect specimens. Think of what we could learn.
Well, if you say so, Mum. Pity, though. I love watching them burn.
Praise the divine. The voice of reason sounds louder here today. Thank you, Dragon Knight. I will start to work without delay. Just have to prepare a bit, and then we're off researching. A true triumph for science. Psst! Over here.
Hello there. Never seen you around. Can I interest you in some of the goods I have to sell? Look, I'm here to trade, not to talk, understand? Either you part with money, or we part ways.
Good, but be discreet about it.
You're never mind me, dragon.
I used to be a dragon.
But think of my establishment, my dearest Raymond. I need to satisfy my clientele. They desire the amorous touch of Aphrodite, after all, not the sinister sting of the assassin.
Look, I'm sorry, Evelyn, but we have more important things to do. Half the population of Alaroth has been murdered by rift spawn and undead stalkers. The victims here simply befell the same fate.
Are you seriously telling me you will leave these vicious murders unresearched and unavenged? Raymond, sugar, do reconsider, and consider just how passionately grateful I would be.
My duties lie elsewhere, alas. And besides, I believe my desires will remain sufficiently doused as long as Damien and his droves of demons domineer the skies over Alaroth.
Go then, you heartless lout, and don't come begging for my caress when the battle is over and your appetites have been restored. Oh, it's you, isn't it? The Dragon Knight. What an exquisite creature you are. Such seductive eyes. Such a pretty face. Not at all. It is my business to know beauty. Only I have unfortunately discovered things of profound ugliness in this, my house of sensuality. I have 3 rooms here in my hotel, and in each lie the victims of vicious massacre. The champions do not care at all. But I need to know what has been happening, or this tragedy may spell my ruin and perhaps even death. Praise be that fate has brought you here this day. To have a being of such beauty come to me must surely mean the gods of love and lust have not abandoned their most ardent follower. Here are the keys to those rooms of terror. Please investigate, my sweet, and the reward will be spectacular. There lies the body of a gentleman who hailed from Broken Valley Village. Folo was his name. I don't know what he was doing here, in my establishment specifically, I mean. It was just him and a pig in there. I guess he was traveling to a fair and ended up here. Wrong time, wrong place. Poor fellow. Such a sad affair. A young couple it was. Dirk and Dana, I believe. They were here on their honeymoon of all things. What rotten luck. The way they were just torn apart. It's incomprehensible. Like a great rage must have taken possession of the murderer. It's all I can do to hold it together, Sugar. I may need you to hold me before long. I don't rightly know much about him, to tell you the truth. He was a nobleman of sorts, who, like so many, came here to look for some company, you know. He was killed in his room, just like the others. But his escorts won't let anybody in there, because they are waiting for some kind of approval from his hometown to move the body. Perhaps you, a dragon knight, can convince them to turn a blind eye. Shouldn't be a problem for you, Sugar. Hurry back, sweet lips.
I'm sorry, Dragon Knight, but I cannot allow you into this room. My master's remains are off limits. Neither threats nor insults will make me yield. Please, step back.
The door won't open.
I'm sorry, Dragon Knight, but I cannot allow you into this room. My master's remains are off limits. Divine be with you.
shiny.
I have been bullied.
Yeah.
When all is colored green, only then the trapped shall be seen.
find a cure. This poison's killing me. I can't. Shiny.
Superb!
Shiny.
Sometimes the only way forwards is backwards.
At last, finally a mortal found this sad spot of unhallowed ground. It is where I perished, a great loss to this world. Baldini is the name, perfumer to kings and queens, the finest nose that ever was. My genius caught up with me. I made the most fantastic, finest fragrances in existence. But alas, in the end, my inspiration withered like the rose petals in my laboratory. my place of creation. I knew I would need a whole new ingredient, which is why I set out to find the flower that doesn't exist. I did find the flower, but after plucking it, I was overwhelmed by its aroma and fell to my death. So I waited for someone to find me, hoping all the while my perfume might still be made. I lived far away from here, but a niece of mine lives in Amaroth. She probably resides there still. She is called Chanel. If only you could bring the flower to her and tell her I sent you, I'd be eternally grateful. It is still up there, high up near the ceiling of this vault. During my long years as a perfumer, I exhausted every ingredient that might produce a smell. So I searched for something, anything that I had not yet heard of. I knew very well that there was not one flower that I did not have acquaintance with. So I dubbed the object of my pursuit the flower that does not exist. It was here, in this forgotten dungeon, that I found it. Alone. Mysterious, unexpected. Its scent was unlike anything I ever experienced. And when I plucked it, like a divine retribution for daring to tear from the earth such beauty, it intoxicated me, and so caused my death. Do be careful as
when all is only then.
Yeah.
Civil louse.
Yeah. Another one to add to the collection. Shiny.
In the name of the old toad-tailed totems, what a rotten business this is.
Shiny. Another one to add to the collection. The door won't open.
I'm sorry, Dragon Knight, but I cannot allow you into this room. My master's remains are off limits. My lord is a prince of Rivertown, whose family would not allow anyone to tamper with his dead body. They pride themselves in the mausoleum wherein are displayed, in a perfectly preserved state, generations of their ancestors. An embalmer is on his way, ready to maintain the prince's corpse in as impeccable a condition as possible. All outside influences are strictly forbidden. I would, but my orders are clear. No one enters the chamber.
It's you. How fares the big investigation, Sugar? What a nuisance. But maybe you can convince them when you have gathered enough clues in the other rooms. Oh, how revolting. Please don't dangle that in front of me. Talk to Dr. West. He's the city mortician and necromancer. You can find him in the building down by the city gate. I believe it's called the Circle of Trust Inn. Hurry back, sweet.
Should Damien and his armies break through Zandalor's shield, we champions will have to fight a foe more pernicious and deadly than generation.
Did you go to the playhouse? Do you have the earrings? Oh, Dragon Knight. With these, I could go to Madame Eve's and buy bread, of course.
This is Ashraf's room. What is the password? Only for you.
This is... That's bad for your...
Shiny.
Look at you. Lovely girl, aren't you? Now be gone before I have to scar your pretty face. Really? I must have lost all charm dwelling among the infantile members of this so-called gentleman's club. Long have I had to endure that sex is petty attempts at seduction, yet a street dog in heat has more charm and finesse. Not that it matters anymore. I have what I came for, and all these prancing chauvinists can rot for all I care. A spell is why I am here. A very rare, very powerful spell that I knew was kept in these archives, untouched and forgotten. It bestows upon the caster untold authority, and with it I will come to rule a land far away from here, a land you have never heard of. So let us leave it at that. Go our own ways. My reign will not bother you, and your exploits will not bother me. Very well. Those cads will be vegetables no longer. I have had my fun with them after all. Thank you for your kindness. Please, accept this weapon as a token of my thanks. I shall now retire to my home and soon-to-be queendom.
Good gods! What has happened here? I'm away for a few hours and suddenly there's a Dragon Knight in the Forbidden Archives. A witch? Surely you do not mean Ursula. Dear me, I never would have suspected. And she made it into the archives. I knew it was a bad idea to give the guard to those 3 yokels, but they insisted they could handle the responsibility. I hope for improvement, though I do not expect it. Ah, but let bygones be bygones. Thaddeus is the name, friend. At your service. Indeed she did. Zandelor sent her after the incarcerated spirit of a mage, Berlin. She came to me because I knew things of the history of Rivellon. History lost in many centuries, though I swore secrecy. I broke that vow in the light of what is happening to this city and this world. I know why he is imprisoned. He, Berlin, adept of the Damned One, and veteran of the Wizard Wars. I'll tell you what I told Rode. Berlin is trapped in a cavern that lies deep beneath Alaroth, below the place where the Champion Academy now stands. He was guarded by a shield, the one taken by Zandelor to protect the city, and also by a curious lock of sorts that is still in place. To open it, one needs to place 5 orbs over 5 runes. The orbs are there, but you will not know where to place them. I have heard that there were 5 who had knowledge of which rune corresponds to what orb. Each of the 5 knew about one, not all. A secret entrusted to each one alone. Who these 5 were, I have not been able to uncover, but they all had a link to Alaroth, so maybe if you scour every inch of this town, you can track them down and so reach the one you seek. They were apocalyptic battles that make the Great War seem to have been but a skirmish between a peasant and an ogre over the last bit of sausage. It was there that it all began. The incipience of the grand conflict that keeps tearing Rivellon apart. The struggle between the damned demon, his followers, and his opposition. You see, back then, and this was millennia ago, the race of wizards like Zandelor ruled the lands. Yet, for thus is the human soul, some tried to lay claim to even vaster power. They would awake the dark essence of a shadow beast, a denizen from untold dimensions of untold might. It was chaos itself, and it would destroy and create concurrently. But there were wizards who resisted, those who saw the catastrophe that would follow in the demon's wake, and so they banded together with the 7 primal races to form the First Council of 7. A fist against the worshippers of darkness. Over a century the battle lasted, and in the end the council won. Those wizards who had sided with chaos like Berlin were executed and their souls locked away in intricate dungeons. Their undoers swore they would never speak of them, so their blood-stained memory would be forgotten. And so they have. For no one, except you, I and the few wizards left, know this story. Alas, that the demon followers who came after the accursed Black Ring were of such ardent passion, for we all know the beast has roamed our world even as his original champions were rotting in their chains. The Lord of Chaos, the Demon of Lies, the Damned One, and now Damien. One day Chaos may reach his full potential. Gods protect us all if he does. No, I haven't. She told me she wouldn't bother looking for the 5 rune lore carriers, but figure things out for herself. First, I don't see how that's possible, and second, she could barely have reached the academy before the dead arose and caused mayhem throughout the lower city. In truth, I fear the worst for her. I don't, not really, but perhaps they may have been of immense power and thus still alive. Perhaps they have descendants. And perhaps, and this I fear shall be the case, you will have to count on sheer serendipity to lead you to the clues you strive to find. Oh yes, the true Lord of Chaos has not yet been freed. The Black Ring was never as strong as the wizards that once supported him. But they did succeed in kindling his spirit within that creature Damien, whereas yet it is but a flame waiting for conflagration. I don't know how that sinister design could be brought to reality, but never doubt he and his believers work tirelessly to bring the demon about. Yes, insofar that the human Damien is now the shell in which the Chaos Demon dwells and evolves. I do not know what you shall do should you find Berlin, but for the sake of all who are peace-loving in our land, I hope that you shall not act lightly. Please do not breathe a word of what I have told you to anyone. This knowledge is secret and should remain so.
So, now you truly know who I am, what it is I desire. The Damned One will rule even if I give you the divine in return. So, search for the 5. There we go. Read what you have just found, then we'll have a chat with our affiliated friend Runes.
Nice.
I'm my old, good-looking self again. First I'll get drunk, and then I'm off to Madame Eve's. Business as usual, as far as I'm concerned. The scholars will scholar, and we 3 booze-cateers will booze. Hurrah! Yes, by Ursula's bottom, you have deserved one. Here's the key to the medicine chest. Go and be creative.
Thank you, Dragon Knight, for delivering us from that evil wench. Wouldn't yours? Mind you, I should have known from the beginning. Never left her alone, I did. Bought her brandy, offered Druid and I, slapped her bottom, and still she didn't seem to like me. Seriously, what more can a man do to win a girl's endearment? And I hadn't forgotten. I have for you a book. I've never read it myself, but I've heard a sharp mind can fare very well by what's written in it. I hope it does, Dragon Knight.
What an adventure that was, and what a lucky outcome. Who could touch one with a providence as blessed as mine? I'm safe, Dragon Knight. Safe to feast and be merry. Of course. Have you seen that chest in the main room? Well, here's the key to it. Enjoy.
Glad to have you around, Dragon Knight. When the Black Ring comes, at least we'll have a legendary warrior.
Now then, youngster, was it you who made this rune here alight? Because I must warn you, tinkering with them may be dangerous indeed. These symbols appeared here a long time ago, as out of nowhere. Tempting to fiddle with, but we didn't. And why didn't we? Because we heard 'twas made by Belegar, and nothing good ever comes out of his schemes. I studied them, and I understand their meaning. Gibberish, if you ask me. But if you want to know which denotes what, I can help you with that. A guard saw a man conjuring up the runes, all the while rhyming, saying the weirdest things. Didn't take long for scholars to figure out who we were dealing with, so Deodatus banned all interference with these concoctions. Of course, you're a Dragon Knight, and you can do what you please. Your guess is as good as mine, Dragon Knight. Belegar works in mysterious ways. Perhaps there is no reason. Perhaps there is something he wants to protect. Perhaps they can trigger a reign of hamsters. With him, who can tell? I'm a historian belonging to the Prancing Seahorse, the gentleman's club, you know, home of the city's eternal students. Runes and their magical properties have always interested me, so I know what they depict, but in this particular case, I've refrained from trying to establish their use. I know better than to mess with Belegar's tricks and traps. It is an uncommon variety of the now extinct human bear-tooth clan that depicts a cat or kitten. It is an uncommon... And you, Dragon Knight.
Divine forgive me, but I wouldn't bother to say that.
Don't step too close to the cage, Dragon Knight. Some joker tried to pat it on the head and lost his throat in the process. Well, I knocked it unconscious during my fight with it, and I figured maybe Lord Deodatus might want it.
What?
Something I can do for you? Hansel's? Or what would he keep a diary for? Never leaves the house. But that underhand skunk. That devious little turncoat. I'll take it from here if you don't mind. Hey, Hansel. I had me a little read here. And if you want me out of the picture, you'll have to do it yourself.
My diary? But that was a joke, a fantasy. I knew you'd best this undead. Gretel, she means nothing to me.
What are you boys babbling about?
Here. Read this, honey, while I take care of this surreptitious scum.
To think I used to call Hansel a friend. That creep tried to kill my Doris because of me. It's not all...
Thank you for exposing that psychopath. Who knows what scheme he might have come up with next. My wife and I are very grateful. We owe life and happiness to you. Thank the divine the Dragon Knight found that diary.
Find a cure. This poison's killing me. Yeah. Another one to add to the collection. Find a cure. This poison is killing me.
tiny.
How fares your quest for the perfect perfume? Good. I think she lives in the upper part of Alaroth, on Lanilor Lane.
If only I still had my old blade, Imp Splitter. I'd show them champions what torches we are. I go, Troll.